Good morning, students. In this class, we will see about the third stage of labor. A third stage of labor is defined as it lasts from the birth of the baby until the placenta is expelled. It is also known as the placental stage of labor. The physiological changes which takes place during the third stage of labor include placental separation, descent of the placenta, and expulsion of the placenta. The picture, the A shows placenta not separated at the beginning of the third stage. The second picture B shows placenta begins to separate and blood clot forms behind it, and the placenta descending to the cervix and placenta completely expelled. The expelled mark at the end of the third. The uterus contract powerfully. Placental separation. As a result of the abrupt decrease in the size of the uterine cavity, the retraction process accelerates. The formation of retroplacental clot occurs. So per abdomen, the uterus becomes discoid in shape, firm in feel and ballotable. The fundal height reaches slightly below the umbilicus. Per vagina, there will be slight trickling of the blood. Length of the umbilical cord as visible from the outside remains static. After separation, per abdomen, uterus becomes globular, firm and ballotable. Fundal height is slightly raised. Suprapubic bulging can be seen. Per vagina, slight gush of vaginal bleeding, permanent lengthening of the cord occurs. The first signs of placental separation include the uterus becomes spherical in shape, the uterus rises upwards in the abdomen as the placenta descends into the vagina and pushes the fundus upward. The cord descends further from the vagina. A gush of blood appears as the blood trapped behind the placenta is released. Separation and descent of the placenta is by the mechanical factors, that is the unique characteristic of the uterine muscle lies in the power of retraction. During the second stage of labor, the uterine cavity progressively empties, so enabling the retraction process to accelerate. Thus, beginning of the third stage, the placental site has already begun to diminish in the size. Thus, inelastic placenta start to shear off from the attachment. There are two methods of placental separation. One is the central method, or it is known as Schultz method. By forming a uteroplacental clot, it further helps in the separation or by exerting a pressure at the midpoint of placental attachment. So after the expulsion, the fetal surface will come first. Marginal separation or Matthew and Duncan method in this maternal surface is the one which comes first. Once separation has occurred, the uterus contracts strongly, forcing the placenta and membrane to fall into the lower uterine segment and hence into the vagina. Hemostasis. Normal blood flow to the placental site at the time of delivery is almost 500 to 800 ml per minute. The intermediate muscle layers are arranged in the criss-cross fashion. Following separation of vigorous contraction brings the walls to position so that further pressure exerted on the placental side. Research has shown that activation of coagulation and fibrinolytic systems during and immediately following placental separation. The retraction of the oblique uterine muscle fibers occurs. Vigorous uterine contraction following the placental separation and transitory activation of coagulation and fibrinolytic system. Management of third stage of labor. Guard the uterus to keep it from massaging it prior to the placental separation. Do not massage the uterus before the separation of placenta except when partial separation has occurred by natural process and excessive bleeding evident. Do not pull the umbilical cord before the placenta separates or even an uncontracted uterus. Do not try to deliver the placenta prior to its complete separation unless it is an emergency of third stage hemorrhage. Wait for the natural process to occur and do not interfere. A hand is placed over the fundus to feel the sign of placental separation. The client asks to bear down simultaneously with the hardening of the uterus. Placenta failed to expel. One can wait up to 10 minutes. As soon as the placenta passes through the introitus, it is grasped by both the hands and twisted round and round or slightly up and down with the gentle traction. Management of third stage include the first one is expectant management. Spontaneous expulsion, constant watch, a hand placed on the fundus to recognize the sign of separation to note the state of uterine activity. Expulsion of placenta once separation and descent into the lower uterine segment confirm, ask the patient to bear down. Use of oxytocin agent, prophylactic use of administration of oxytocin agent at the time of delivery of anterior shoulder. Therapeutic administration, This method implies the use of oxytocin either to stop bleeding once it has occurred or to maintain the uterus in a contracted state when there is an indication that excessive bleeding is likely to occur. Active management of third stage of labor consists of interventions designed to facilitate the delivery of the placenta by increasing uterine contraction and to prevent PPH by averting the uterine atony. The usual components are administration of uterotonic agents and controlled cord retraction. WHO recommends for active management of labor from 2012 the use of uterotonics for the prevention of postpartum hemorrhage during the third stage of labor is recommended for the birth. Oxytocin 10 units IV or IM is recommended uterotonic drug for the prevention of PPH. In the settings where skilled birth attendants are available, controlled contraction is recommended for vaginal birth if the care provider and the patient woman regard a small reduction in the blood loss and a small reduction in the duration of third stage of labor is important. In settings where skilled birth attendants are unavailable, controlled contraction is not recommended. Sustained uterine massage not recommended as an intervention to prevent PPH in women who have received prophylactic oxytocin. Postpartum abdominal uterine tonus assessment for early identification of uterine atony is recommended for all women. Control contraction is recommended. Method for removal of placenta in cesarean section. Active management of third stage of labor helps prevent a postpartum hemorrhage by using oxytocin, controlled contraction, and uterine massage. Once the signs of placental separation have occurred, the obstetrician assists the delivery of the placenta by controlled contraction as displayed by branded and twist method. If the patient is awake, he is asked to bear down while gentle traction is made on the umbilical cord. Assisted expulsion or otherwise known as controlled contraction is modified Brand's Andrews method. This is the Brand Andrew maneuver 1 and second one is the Brand Andrew maneuver 2. How to do the controlled contraction with counter pressure. Clamp the umbilical cord close to the perineum and hold the cord in one hand. Place the other hand just above the woman's pubic bone and stabilize the uterus by applying counter pressure to the abdomen during controlled contraction. Keep silent tension on the cord and wait a strong uterine contraction. With a strong uterine contraction, encourage the mother to push and gently pull downward the cord to deliver the placenta. Continue to apply counter pressure to the uterus. Between contractions, gently hold the cord and wait until uterus is well contracted again. With the next contraction, repeat controlled contraction with the counter pressure. The placenta does not descend during 30 to 40 seconds of controlled contraction. Do not continue to pull the cord. Fundal pressure. Uterus is massaged. Examination of placenta and membranes the cord while vulva, vagina and perineum are inspected carefully for the injuries. The advantage of the active management of third stage is to minimize the blood loss, shorten the duration of the third stage. Disadvantage is increasing the incidence of retained placenta. Second is examination. Examination of the placenta and examination of the perineum. The placenta, membranes, umbilical cord should be examined for its completeness and for any anomalies. Of the perineum, at the same time, perineal region, vulva, outlet, vaginal canal, and cervix should be carefully examined for the laceration. If the perineum has been torn or episiotomy is made, tear or incision should be repaired immediately. Repair of the episiotomy, suture as soon as possible after delivery to avoid bleeding and infection. Completion of the third stage by continuing evaluation. Ensure the uterus is well contracted. Slight lacerations are usually repaired immediately. The vulva and perineum are gently cleansed. Mother's blood pressure, pulse and temperature should be taken once the mother is comfortable, and placenta membranes are the next priority. Examination of placenta and membranes. Infections that are recent or all. Localized calcification, lobes, blood vessels, insertion of the cord, umbilical vessels, cord length, weight of the placenta. This is the picture of a placenta. Checking the placenta for its completeness. Hold the placenta in the palms of your hands with the maternal side facing upward. Make sure that all lobules are present and fit together. Then hold the cord with one hand, allowing the placenta membrane to hang down. Place the other hand inside the membrane, spreading the fingers out to make sure that membranes are complete. Hold the membranes open like this to check whether it is complete or not. Care of newborn and mother. Care for at least 1 hour after delivery. Mother should be receive cleansing body wash, mouthwash, and perineal care. She should be encouraged to empty the bladder and bedpan of her. Blood pressure, pulse, uterine contraction, and bleeding should be checked every 15 minutes. Baby's general well-being and security of the cord clamp needs to be checked, as the baby will chill after birth. Thoroughly try and wrap the baby. Mothers intending to breastfeed may be encouraged. Early breastfeeding causes a reflex release of oxytocin and pituitary and stimulate the uterus to contract. All the drugs are administered. Examination of the placenta membranes cord with attention drawn to any abnormalities, and the amount of blood loss should be recorded. Thank you. Thank you for listening.